comes now with this question as I hear you speaking about this movement of the feminine from the masculine, and this hatred towards the masculine is really part of our history, really, really strong in our cultures. So I was wondering if you can say just like a more, not practical, but about this healing of intergeneration. Yeah.
So to be able to actually come into a true inner marriage, of course, no hatred can remain towards the masculine. Otherwise, we don't have the full access as the masculine to really be and be rooted in our own pelvis, womb, all of these things. So there's a letting him in waiting to happen through the body, and it's often connected with anger and all kinds, like the feminine rage and all of this stuff. Yeah, but the gist of it basically is that when it comes to this with the collective setup and what you're talking about there in your country and stuff like this, the gist is that there is a place deeply inside of you which is hooked up to all women, because it's based on the woman, which is reflected through and by the planet. So you talk about history, but it's actually also about not just history, but the history of the earth, not just the history of a country, but deeply rooted in our bones is the fact that this planet has been brought to this place, that nature has been close to eliminated, that our natural link with and breath as the feminine has been just more and more closed out, and the more and more disconnected it have been and still becomes more and more celebrated. And that leads back to a place inside of us where basically we need to face the, I want to say, the blaming of the entirety of womanhood towards the entirety of manhood, or the feminine towards the masculine. To meet that in its totality reflects back to you as a body. But there are layers, and one of these layers is to go in and meet that place where basically every woman alive blames man for not being present, not being here, not feeling her feelings, all of these things. So it goes both through the planet state, and it goes all the way down to every woman who was never felt, never heard, ignored, stomped in her essence, all of these things. So this is accumulated in a tank inside consciousness itself. And we need to touch that place. And we need to see how it became like this. And we also, from that place, need to recognize that all of the hatred that we are carrying towards man or masculine is actually belonging to everything that happened through history, and not actually the men around us, because the men around us are as much victims of the entirety movement of that which has become the patriarchal, of the masculine, which is a force. It's a force that's been moving through all of men it touches, yeah? Yeah. And for that to truly be forgiven, we need to feel that place, and we need to basically forgive the men that are alive today, because they didn't create this. This is a lot longer than 100 years old, or the age of any human here now. It has come and it's been sneaking in on this entire creation over, hundreds and hundreds of years. But especially through the last maybe 100 to 200 years, it has escalated, yeah? But then we also need we just need to feel the result of that. And we need to come into a base forgiveness. And from there, we also need to start loving the masculine for his potential and not for the past. But this is where it can flip. This is where it can turn from a fundamental place where you start becoming able to truly appreciate the masculine energy in every man. So just like we're talking about, there's one woman, There is one man also only, ladies. And the moment that you are willing to receive love, the moment you are willing to be opened and be open, the moment you are willing to be receptive, the moment you're able and willing to celebrate the masculine, it will so strongly underpin your femininity, and it will start allowing men into your life, including your own masculine, in a way that allows this to fully come alive in your life as well. The hatred towards the masculine that comes through the ancestral line, that is a hiccup. It's a part of the wounding which requires direct access, and you need to address your right ovary to transcend this hatred of the masculine that is linked up in through your ancestral line. So meditate on your right ovary and start opening that box, and then transcend all of the hatred that's coming out of it until it's empty.